Welcome once again to Starseed Rising 333. I'm glad you've tuned into this channel. If you do enjoy watching or listening to this video, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe or share, or just leave a comment. Today my topic is called Islam is the original faith of the real children of Israel. Now, before I continue, I just want to thank all my subscribers, all my supporters, anyone that's tuned into my channel, who watched my other videos out on YouTube, my other readings out, because I do readings as well, okay, as well as posting out videos online regarding spirituality, all right, and on other topics which I just want to share with you, the audience, all right. So once again, thanks to all my subscribers, all my supporters, anyone that's tuned in, will watch my other videos out on YouTube, who have clicked the like button, subscribed, shared, or just left a comment. Thank you ever so much for your support. And thank you for tuning in today, okay, to listen or watch this video right now. All right, so as I said, my topic today is called Islam is the original faith of the real children of Israel. Now, here regarding this topic, all right, which I'm going to read, okay, from, because I've got here the Quran as well as the Holy Bible, and I've got some things noted down as well. But the reason why I was guided to do this topic today is because a couple of months ago, I met a lady, and she said that she was a Black Hebrew Israelite, all right, and that she claimed that all Black people, or the Black race, including um, people of color, all right, are all Black Hebrew Israelites, all right. Now, I personally, I'm a Muslim, okay, spiritually, psychic, and also a high priestess, and I have been guided, all right, to just go more into that, all right, to to break this topic down a bit. First of all, I was guided to first identify who the real children of Israel are, all right, and then talk about the original faith that Allah, the Creator, I call him Allah because I'm a Muslim, all right, um, gave to man, okay, or the first so-called religion that was given to man, all right. But I just want to tell you a bit of more about Black Hebrew Israelites, all right, from the information I gathered and what I was told by this lady I met. All right. So of okay. Now the Black Hebrew Israelites, okay, as I said that um they believe, all right, that the black race and people of color are the real children of Israel, all right, and that the Black Hebrew Israelites, they are not the same as Black Jews or Jews of color, which are members of the Jewish faith. Now, the Black Hebrew Israelites, they do not believe that white or conventionally accepted Jews or Zionists are members of the tribe of Israel. All right. And also, um, however, I should say, they do uh, participate and observe some Jewish and Christian practices. For example, Shabbat and the biblical ordained Jewish holidays, Passover, Yom Kippur, and they do also practice a ritual, okay, which most Christian faiths do, which is baptism. All right. And I just want to just tell you a little bit about the 12 tribes of Israel, okay? The 12 tribes of Israel, from their understanding, okay, which was the uh 12 sons, okay, um of Jacob. All right, so you've got Judah, okay, and they refer to the descendants of the Judah as the American blacks. Benjamin would be linked with the West Indian blacks. Levi, the Haitians. Ephraim, the Puerto Ricans. Manasseh, the Cubans. Simeon, or Simon, the Dominicans. Zebulun, Guatemala. To Panama, the Mayans. Gad, linked with the Native American Indians. Reuben, the Seminole Indians. Asher, linked to the Colombia to Uruguay, the Incas. Issachar, or Issachar, which is the Mexicans or Aztecs, and Nefertali, the Argentinians, okay, or Chileans, all right, and also, all right, they go on and they believe, all right, that uh, the reason why you have the transatlantic slave trade, it was because of the disobedience of the black man, all right, but then these are things which I sort of don't agree with, because from what I have learned, that these things were meant to happen. And this is why now I'm going to go back, all right, into history, okay, in regards to the original, okay, the I should say the origin of the black man. All right. Now, first of all, I just want to just tell you a little bit about the Israelites, because the black race or the people of color are considered as the real children of Israel. Okay, now the Israelites, okay, they were a so-called chosen by or chosen race, okay, by the Most High, by Allah, okay, the God, the Creator, and they were a chosen people, all right, and that was a promise done by Allah to Abraham, okay, and they are part of Abraham's seed. And most faiths, okay, are based on the Abrahamic faith, because Abraham, if you were to read about him, he was very faithful to the Most High, all right, and Allah made a promise to Abraham saying that because you are being so faithful to me, I am going to create, all right, a nation, a people out of your seed, all right. But the thing with that was that Allah said that they would then be in bondage, okay, by another people, all right, or by another country, and then I will select one, okay, among that race that will deliver them. And I don't know if you are familiar with the story of the Israelites being bondage in Egypt by Pharaoh, and then Moses, all right, was selected to deliver them out of the hands of Pharaoh, all right. Now, I just want to tell you briefly, okay, about um, the the origin, sorry, of the black man, all right. Now, first of all, I just want to, before I um, go on to Proverbs, okay, which is in the I should say the King's James Holy Bible, which is the most popular version, okay, of the Holy Bible. I just want to read something in Genesis, all right? Now, if you were to read Genesis chapter 1, verses 26. It says here, and God said, let us make man in our image and our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Now, here, I just want to just go into detail about who God was speaking to. Now, from what I have learned, okay, and this, I learned this from the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, of the leader of the Nation of Islam, okay, he said that right from the beginning, all right, the black race existed, all right, we existed before time, before the earth, before the whole entire universe was created. Now, what he said, okay, regarding this verse, he says that when Allah, the creator, okay, was planning, all right, or uh, giving his authority for a man to be created, he was speaking to someone from the black race. All right, and I can also now, if you just bear with me, I'm going to go into this book, the book of Proverbs, which was written by King Solomon, who was the wisest king, okay, that ever lived, and he was the son of King David, all right, who wrote the book of Psalms, which is the most powerful book in the Holy Bible, all right. Now, here in chapter 8, okay, of Proverbs. And if I was to read from starting from verse 23, and this was something that was guided to me by the Most High, by my spiritual team, okay, during meditation. All right, I was guided to read these verses out, okay, to prove, all right, um, that the black race existed before any other race. All right, and I will then mention to you um, one person who was an archaeologist and one a genetic scientist who um, they did their research, and they that was the conclusion of their findings. All right, so I'm just going to read out, okay, starting from verse 23 of chapter 8 of the book of Proverbs. It says here, okay, I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was, when there were no depths I was brought forth, when there were no fountains abounding with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth, while as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depths. All right. And it then goes on to say, when he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the fountains of the deep, when he gave to the sea his decree that the waters should not pass his commandment, when he appointed the foundations of the earth, then I was by him as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him. So these verses here clearly states, all right, that someone was with the Most High, and that someone was the black man, the black race. All right. Now, what I want to do, okay, I am going to just mention two people, okay, and this is something that you can research on. All right, the first It was an archaeologist by the name of Dr. Leakey. All right, he wanted to find out, okay, who was the first man, okay, where did he come from, okay, and so forth. And in his research, okay, he found out, okay, the first man came from Africa, all right, and that's where later on I found out that the Garden of Eden was based somewhere in Africa, all right, and that he found some bones, all right, and when he did all his research and whatever, he found out that it was bones of a black man. And the strange thing is that he couldn't date from how old it was. And then as he started to dig further and further, he noticed that he was coming up with older bones than from what he first discovered. And obviously, and also, I must state here that the Honorable Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam did state, all right, that nowhere they can record, okay, how old the black race had existed, all right. And what he did say as well, that we were here, okay, before the sun, the moon, the stars. We already existed, okay, we already existed, and we were created in God's essence, his likeness and image, all right. And there was another gentleman, okay, he was a genetic scientist, and his name or his surname was Mandel, and he also did research, all right, on this, and he found out that all he said basically, his conclusions were that all race come from the black race, because black eyes are dominant, all right. uh, Blue and green, the eyes are weak, as well as the skin as well, where he says that like the black race, our skin is very strong, is and also and but white skin is weak, all right. And I also, something that I have learned as I go along my spiritual soul journey, I found out that black is, or the color is, the essence of where all colors come from. Okay. Now, another thing that I just want to say, all right, a lot of the things, all right, that um were meant to be, okay, especially in the King James Version Bible, was removed, okay, especially when it came to events that happened, okay, before, okay, this particular race was created. A lot of things were, and from what I've learned, that about almost about 13 books was removed from the King James version, okay, Bible, or the Holy Bible, I should say, all right, leading to the events, okay, of the creation of a new race, okay. But as I said before that, all right, the black race existed, and they were called the pre-Adamites, or the Aboriginal man, okay, or the Aboriginal man. And today, um, it's quite fortunate that there are, or I would say, a lot of the black race connections are the people, the original people of Australia, which is the Aboriginal people. All right, so that is very interesting to know. Okay, and another thing I just want to mention here. Now, when you go back, okay, to the book of Genesis, where God is speaking to someone, and he's saying, let us make man in our image and our likeness. Okay, what the scripture is, or verse I should say, was referring to, was a type of race. Okay, that's why the black man is considered as a, as aboriginal, okay, or pre-Adamite, all right. And from what I have learned, that there were many different races of people. Okay, so the name Adam, all right, is not a name of a man, but it's a type of race. All right, a type of race or type of people or kind of man. All right, and that's where the word mankind came from. Okay, when you break it down, it's a kind of a man. All right, but all of this was all planned. Now, unfortunately, I do not have evidence, all right, but I do know, and I was guided, okay, that a lot of the things that happened, okay, before this man was created, it did exist, it was written somewhere, but that information was taken out, okay, it was taken out, as I said earlier, that 13 books was removed, um, from the King James Version Bible. All right, and I just want to just go, I'm just going to touch briefly on this. Okay, now before this race, okay, was created, okay, there were a lot of things that happened. For example, and I'll just tell you the beginning of how it started. All right, there was a little boy called Jacob. All right, and he was very intelligent. Okay, at his age, and he wanted to create a race out of the black man. All right, but he wanted to create a race. Okay, that was in opposition to the Most High. Basically, he wanted to create a race that would be operating from the shadow side. Now, I just want to just let you know, because obviously I'm a spiritualist and high priestess, to tell you that all of us, okay, all human beings, okay, we all have a light and shadow side, okay, and even the creator Allah himself has a light and shadow side, okay, so in other words, okay, there is light and dark, all right, we all have, as I said, a light and shadow side. And Jacob, obviously, when he was thinking about doing that, he was operating from his shadow side. All right? Because for you to say, well, you want to create, okay, because God created man in love, okay, to be obedient to him, to do his will. But obviously, Jacob wanted to, he was a bit rebellious. And when you are rebellious, you're operating from your shadow side. All right. Jacob, as I said, he because he grew up then to become a scientist. He, as I said, as a child, he wanted to create a race from the black race. All right. So then but his motive was to create a race, okay, which would be operated from the shadow side, which would be rebellious to the Most High. All right. Now, before, okay, this ever existed, okay, before this race came to be in existence, I just want to refer to the Quran, all right? So please bear with me. So please don't forget, okay, about the verse in the Genesis, okay, which I said earlier, which is chapter 1, verses 26, where it says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. All right, so I'm just going to just read um from the Quran. Now, the reason why I'm reading from the Quran, because the Quran is the last testament, okay, that was given to Prophet Muhammad by the Most High. Because, as I said before, with the King James Version Bible, there was about 13 books that was removed, all right, as well as a lot of things were taken out and a lot of things were put in, and a lot of the words was sort of like muddled about, all right. And then obviously you have the Torah, okay, and with the Torah there's a lot of things, okay, that um are not appropriate, okay, and disapproved by the Most High. And again, you've got the Jews actually have another book, okay, which which they tend to follow more than the Torah, which is the Talmud. All right. So the Quran is the last testament, okay, that was given to man as a guidance or form of guidance, okay, because it's sort of um I would say is the last testament that was given, all right, because as I said of what had happened to the Bible and also the Torah, okay, um, right. So if you just bear with me, all right, if you were to read, okay, it's called Surah 2 Al Baqarah, okay, Surah 2 Al Baqarah. Okay, and it goes on here where during that before this race was created, all right, the angels, okay, had a conversation with Allah the creator, and it goes on to say, are you going to I'll just read what it says. It says, when your Lord said to the angels, indeed, I will make upon the earth a successive authority, they said, will you place upon it one who causes corruption therein and sheds blood, while we exalt you with praise and declare your perfection? Allah said, indeed, I know that which you do not know. It's actually written here. So during that time, okay, before this race, before Yakub went ahead to create this race, all right, Allah knew, okay, that whatever race, okay, that was going to now come on the earth would be rebellious. Okay, he knew that because you can't hide from the creator. Okay, anything that you plan to do, even before you put it in action, the Most High already knows. Okay, he knows your intentions, he knows your thoughts, he knows what you're going to do beforehand. He knew. Okay, but there was a reason. That's why he said to the angels, I know what you know not. Okay, but he allowed it to happen. He allowed Jacob to carry out his experiment. All right, and I then later on learned, okay, from the Honorable Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam. Okay, he talked about, that's where the about the because he was going into detail, okay, about the number 666. He was going on, he broke it down and said it was a number of a man, a type of man, okay, and how long they were allowed to rule, okay. So all of the things, okay, that happened, the Most High allowed it to happen for a reason, okay. And that's why there's also a verse, I think, believe it is in the book of Matthew in the Holy Bible, okay, where it says like the stone that the builder refused will be come the head of the stone. Also, a lot of the things that took place, okay, the Most High allowed it to happen, to take place, okay. Now, another thing that I want to discuss, okay, is that as I said earlier, okay, that Adam was not a name of a man, okay, it was a name of a race, all right. Now I just want to just clarify some other things here, okay. Now I also want to just clarify who was Eve. Okay, who was Eve? Now, me being a spiritualist and a high priestess, okay, and what information that has been downloaded to me from the Most High and by my spiritual team, the ancestors, okay, and also from what I have also learned, okay, from the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, who is a leader of the Nation of Islam. He says that um, Adam and Eve, okay, was one. They weren't separate individuals, okay? They were one, all right? And me being a spiritualist, I can tell you, and as a high priestess, okay, what I've learned along my spiritual soul journey, all right, is that both both men and women, we embody both masculine and feminine energies. All right, and even the Most High, and even if you were to study about the planets, all right, you will notice that some um of the planets, some of them are feminine, okay, some of them are masculine, all right, some of the energies embodied in the planet, some of it is masculine and feminine. Even the Most High, okay, he embodies masculine and feminine energies. All right. So, and obviously we were created in His image and His likeness. So obviously we would embody that as well. All right. Now, what happened from what I was guided to say, okay, by the Most High. All right, I was appointed to say this, and this is why I'm saying this. Adam at that time, okay, because obviously I don't know if you're religious, okay, or if you've heard the story, or if you um okay, are somehow spiritualists and you're not aware, or you are aware, okay, that when this man was created, okay, he was given rules, okay, he was told where he should get his food from and what he shouldn't eat from. All right, now what happened, as we all know, that this man, he disobeyed the Most High. All right, but you see, what I've come to learn, all right, that this man, all right, he was operating from his feminine side. Okay, so there wasn't two people, all right, in the Garden of Eden that time when um they that he disobeyed the Most High. It was one person, one man, all right. But as I said, whether you're a man or a woman, you both embody masculine or feminine energies. All right. So at that time, this man, all right, he was operating from his feminine side. Okay, he ate the fruit or whatever he wasn't supposed to eat, and this is where the this thing about Eve comes into play. All right, because from what I've learned, okay, and what messages that was downloaded to me, all right, that there was no such person woman called Eve. Okay, it was no such person called Eve. All right, because if you and from what I've learned, all right, Eve, I should say Eve or evening comes from the word Eve. But what I was told and what I was guided, okay, that this thing that happened when this man disobeyed the Most High, it was done during evening time. All right, it was done during evening time. So there wasn't any woman, okay, female called Eve. Okay, this man, he was operating from his feminine side. All right, and he disobeyed the Most High by eating from the tree which he shouldn't have eaten from, and it was done during evening time. All right, it was done during evening time, and obviously he was sort of like operating from his shadow side. Obviously, he was operating from his shadow side. And another thing, all right, I just want to clarify about the bits where, okay, they say where where it says something about like Eve, or some snake spoke to Eve. All right, all of this is just a myth because um no serpent, okay? No type of serpent speaks, okay? No type of serpent speaks, okay? However, there is something within us, okay? Because even like there is some a place in the New Testament when Jesus was alive, okay, where he did a healing on a woman, okay, and it states there that he removed like 7 demons or something like that. From what it is that we all have sort of like demons inside of, hidden inside of, okay, and this would make us, okay, to operate from the shadow side, because as I said, we all have a light and shadow side, okay. So whatever this thing, okay, that was inside of him, all right, it was like a voice he was hearing inside of him, all right, telling him to do what he did, all right. So because sometimes, like, like we've been told or guided, not to do something, but then we just had this like little whispering voice in our ears to say, even though we know the consequences of what would happen if we do it, but we just do it. And then obviously then we go, oh no, if like, so that's what's happened here. So Adam was just listening. It was like a voice that was telling inside of him to actually disobey the Most High, and he listened to that, and that's what he did. And even when Allah confronted him to tell him, about like why was he hiding, whatever, then he just blamed on the feminine side that was within him, okay, and that voice that told him to do what he did. So I just wanted to clarify these things. And later on, because I do study astrology as well, okay, and I don't know if you've ever sort of heard about a birth natal chart, okay, or if you have one, you will notice on the birth natal chart, okay, or if you do any form of or study any form if you study about the planets, about astrology itself, you find out that there is sort of like a planet, okay, or you would hear this name Lilith, okay, and later on, when I did my research, I read up on about Lilith. I later found out that Lilith was um well, from what I've learned, okay, that Lilith was the first wife of the so-called first man, okay, of I would say, or I should say, the white race. And the reason why I say the white race, okay, which is the person who or the race I'm speaking to, or the man from the race, okay, that's in the book of Genesis, is because I later learned, okay, from the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, that the first race that existed, okay, when Yakub was doing his experiments, okay, in order to bring about the white race. The first race that came after the black race was the Asians. Okay, and then, but it took 600 years, okay, for the Asian race to exist. Okay, and then afterwards, you got the Chinese, okay, which is known as the yellow race. Okay, so after the Asian race, it took 600 years for the Chinese race to exist, and it took another 600 years, and then came um, the white race. All right, but there was a process that had to take place, and unfortunately, that involved, okay, like mixing one race with the other and killing the other one in order for the white race to exist. All right, now, um, so I just wanted to just clarify a lot of that, a lot of the origin, of the black man, how the white man uh, how they came about, and so forth. Now, what I'm going to do, oh yes, and just one other thing I just want to mention as well. Okay, now with Lilith, okay, from what I have learned, as I said, that I learned that she was the first wife of Adam. I do believe, okay, but it's not really written, because as I said, there's a lot of books that was taken up from the King James Version Bible, all right, that I do believe that Adam, okay, married again, all right, because they said she was the first wife, but unfortunately, okay, that Lilith didn't stay with Adam, all right, because because obviously after um this man disobeyed the Most High, okay, he was casted out, okay, from the Garden of Eden, but there was a lot of problems, all right, because Lilith left this man, okay, her husband, all right, and then, okay, you have the story about Abel and Cain, all right, where Cain killed Abel. Okay, so it was just the beginning of problems. Okay, and we obviously as human beings, okay, that came way after that. That's how we all inherited sin, and that's how Jesus had to come. All right, and he gave his life so that we could all can be redeemed. All right, and have salvation. All right, through his blood. Okay, now what I want to now go on is I now want to uh, talk about the original faith. Okay, now the Black Hebrew Israelites, or I should, in other words, I should say that they believe that Islam, Judaism, and Christianity are false religions. Okay, now there is some truth. Okay, there is some truth in that. Okay, but I refuse to accept, okay, about what they believe regarding Islam. All right, now religion itself, okay, because I've done videos on this where I have sort of gone into detail about the birth of so-called religion, because I did say that from what I have learned that religion really came about, okay, when um, Constantine, who was the emperor of Rome, he wanted to create one man-made religion, okay, and anyone, all right, that didn't confide with whatever he believed in, all right, they were either prosecuted or killed. Because before before his so-called religion came about, there were a lot of people that were into different spiritual practices, okay, including the shamans and a lot of goddesses, for example, the Sibyls, okay, who had their way of faith, okay, or practices, I should say, and some of them include divination. All right, but obviously when Constantine came about, he wanted to create, as I said, one religion which was man-made. All right, and as I said, if anyone didn't confined with those beliefs, or anyone that was caught practicing any form of divination, they were either prosecuted um, or killed. And that's where I do believe that's how the beginning of different sects and cults, okay, they started to form, okay, or the originality where it first started, because of what has happened back then. All right, and then you had his Constantine successor, Conscientious the second, who was even more brutal than Constantine himself. And if you were to go back, okay, and do your research, you will not find, okay, that anyone from from starting from Abraham, Noah, Lot, um, Joseph, David, Job, um, Solomon, all right, none of these great men were Muslims. All right, you wouldn't find that in the Quran, and you wouldn't find that, I'm sure, in the Torah, and you wouldn't find that in the King James Bible, Holy Bible. All right, they were not Muslims. All right, and now, if you were to do research, okay, about Christians, all right, Jesus was not a Christian. Okay, Jesus was not a Christian. Okay, the name Christian came about in a place called Antioch when they wanted to identify the followers of Christ. Okay, and that's where the name Christian came about. All right, and Jesus, okay, wasn't even a Jew. Jesus wasn't a Jew. Yes, he was born in Bethlehem, okay, in a place called Judea, all right, and we all know this. Some of you know the story about, okay, about King Herod uh, getting news about the birth of Jesus, all right, and he approved of the wise men to come, but obviously he had intentions, all right, that when he was, if he or I should say, when he found out where Jesus was, he was going to kill Jesus, obviously. So that's why Mary and Joseph, they had to flee to Egypt, okay, and then obviously an angel came to Joseph to tell him that Herod had died, but obviously Joseph, okay, was reluctant to go to return to Judea, okay, because obviously Herod's son was ruling at that time. So then Joseph and Mary took Jesus to a place called Galilee, okay, where they settled in a city called Nazarene. So Jesus was actually a Nazarene. All right. Now the reason why some people will say, okay, why was he called the King of Jews? But he was called the King of Jews is because I don't want to go too much in that, but this is something that you could research for yourself. All right, is because the Jews deviated. They had the Torah. All right, and as I said, they later on created another book called the Talmud, which they followed. All right, and they weren't they sort of deviated, and they didn't recognize they didn't in fact they actually rejected Jesus. And to be honest with you, Jesus came to was their savior, okay. Jesus was their savior, but they rejected Jesus, okay. They rejected him, and as a result, okay, because if you were to read about his life, okay, you would always you always be you come across, okay, where Jesus was always in confrontation with the Jews. All right, he was always in confronted. They always doubted what he did. Okay, they ridiculed him. All right, and actually Jesus broke the Sabbath. All right, he broke the Sabbath. All right, and there were a lot of the practices that the Jews did. Okay, which it was meant to be done for time. Okay, a lot of the laws and statutes, okay, that was given way back at the time of Moses. A lot of them were to be done until, okay, Jesus came, all right, and Jesus was the seed that was promised through Abraham, and when he came, he broke that. And if and what is interesting, okay, about this, all right, um, as well, um, Jesus was asked, okay, by the Jews, what is or what is the greatest commandments of all? Because even in the book of Hebrews, it does state that Jesus was more superior than Moses. All right, he was more superior than Moses, and the Jews, all right, they asked Jesus, what is the greatest commandments of all? And he said, love thy neighbor as you love thyself, and do unto others do as you would like others to do unto you. That was the greatest commandments of all. All right, that was the greatest commandments of all. But I just want to just take you back, all right, to the first so-called religion, okay, that was given to this man, okay, from this race, okay, that was created by Jacob back in time. All right. Now, what I'm going to do again, I'm going to refer to the Quran. All right. So, hey, if you refer okay, to Surah 5 Al Maida. Okay, Surah Al Maida. Okay, it says here, this day I have perfected for you your religion and completed my favor upon you and have approved for you Islam as religion. So there again, as evidence, all right, that the religion that was given to the man, okay, or the race that Jacob created was Islam. All right, all right. The religion that was given, okay, to the black race, okay, of people of color was Islam. All right. And when Allah allowed Yaqub to create this race, okay, he was also this man, okay, who belonged to that race. They were given that religion, and it was Islam. And Islam just means to be obedient, and to be obedient to the Most High, to Allah the Most High, and to be obedient and to be submissive to His will. Sorry. Okay. So this was the original faith. All right, that was given by the Most High, all right, to everyone, to every race on this earth. Okay, so in conclusion, all right, so I mean, yes, I do believe, all right, in some of the things which the lady said, okay, when it comes to, like about uh the black race and people of color are the real children of Israel. But this unfortunately, I disagree. Okay, in terms of her saying that, okay, that we should be the black race or people of color should be Israelites, and I also disagree the fact that all black people are Jews, which I also disagree. However, I do agree, okay, as I said earlier, that we are the black race and people of color are the real children of Israel. But, okay, I have done my research, all right, from what I have learned and what I have found out, what I have read, okay, that the original faith, okay, that was given to the real children of Israel was Islam. All right. Now, if you want to know more about, okay, the origin of the black man, if you want to know more about the real children of Israel are, okay, I would suggest that you or recommend, okay, that you watch videos, okay, by the um nation of Islam, okay, that will go more into detail about that. Now, one of the other things, okay, I just want to just mention that even though, okay, I consider myself as a Muslim, all right, I was guided to say that all right, that the Islam, okay, that is being practiced today, all right, is not approved by Allah the Creator. It's not, all right, and I keep getting confirmations of this over and over again, all right, and I was guided to write this down and to speak about it, okay? That the Islam that is practiced today, okay, whether by so-called Orthodox Muslims, as I call them, all right, which is mostly associated with the Asian race, all right, as well as the new Islamic faiths, all right, or so-called religions, okay, or cults, okay, such as or sects such as the Nation of Islam, okay. From what I have been guided by the Most High, it is not approved because what it is that a lot of their practices, okay, are not. It's sort of it's causing a lot of division. Okay, it's causing a lot of division because you see, if you go back to the greatest commandments which Jesus left, which is, it says, love thy neighbor as you should love yourself, and do unto others as you would like others to do unto you. This is not being demonstrated because, for example, okay, I remember um the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. He was talking about like this man because he goes on. He said something about like if gay people, okay, that whether you are a man or woman, okay, that you were not born that way, and that okay, that is due to a hormonal imbalance and whatever. Okay, he was just going on about the scientific reasons, okay, for such behavior. And then he said something about like a man what was wanted to join, okay, the nation of Islam, but he disapproved, okay, because he says that he had this man had uh to release his homosexual tendency and whatever. But from what I have been guided, okay, as a spiritualist and as a high priestess, that we should be demonstrating the divine love. It doesn't matter whether you're white, black, Asian, okay, it doesn't matter whether you're gay, whether you're straight, okay, we are all children of God, and we should be demonstrating that. And what religion, so-called religion, is doing today is dividing people, okay, it's dividing male from the female, it's putting in certain rules and regulations, and the most high is not happy with that. He's not happy with that. He When he created man, he gave us a religion, and we need to sort of move away, okay, we need to move away from sort of the teachings, okay, of white supremacy, okay, as well as of old and move away from beliefs, old belief systems, okay, and teachings. And I don't know if you ever heard of this song, okay, it's called Redemption Song by Bob Marley, where he actually states that, because he's saying that especially for um the black race and people of color, he's saying that, other day, although we are sort of are free, okay, we are free to do what we want, okay, but he says that we are not free mentally, okay, we're not free mentally, because we still we still sort of like confining to those old be, as I said, old belief systems and teachings, philosophies, and so forth, okay. That's why he said in there's a verse in the Redemption Song where he says, immerse yourself from mental slavery. Only we ourselves can free our mind. And there's a reason for that. It's because we have to move away and stop, um, because religion itself has just become like some form of judicial system, okay, where it's telling you if you don't do this and if you don't do that, you won't be approved or you won't be loved by the Most High. We need to move away from that. Okay, we were meant to be a free soul. Okay, we were meant to worship the Most High, get our direct guidance from the Most High. And that's why, as I will always say, that's why King David was very victorious, because he turned to the Most High. Only the Most High. David was not a Muslim, all right? He turned to the Most High for guidance, and his son, King Solomon, was the wisest king of all, and he as well got his guidance from directly from the Most High. All right. So yes, it's true, as I said, and I do believe that the black race and also people of color are the real children of Israel. All right, but okay, when it comes to uh, the faith, I do believe in my heart of that the religion that was, or the faith, I prefer to say faith, okay, the faith that was given to man, all right, okay, right from the beginning, from our creation, okay, was Islam. All right. So if you do, or if you did, I should say, enjoy, okay, listening or watching this video, please don't forget to click the like button, subscribe or share, or just leave a comment. Thank you ever so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time, and goodbye.